A 22-year-old is making $5,000 a month washing cars from his parents' garage. No storefront, no employees, no degree. But after researching dozens of detailing businesses across the US, I found a hidden ceiling that almost nobody in this space talks about. And it explains why most detailers never grow past that number no matter how hard they grind. Today, I am showing you how much detailers actually earn at each stage, why most hit a wall they never saw coming, and how the smartest operators turned a cleaning business into a six-figure system without picking up a single sponge. If you are new here, this is the Income Guide. Real business models, real numbers, no fluff. Hit subscribe so you do not miss the next one. Now let's get into it. Before we get into the income breakdown, I want to establish something because a lot of people dismiss detailing as a low-skill gig before they ever look at the numbers. Car detailing is having a genuine moment in 2026. The hashtag alone has over 1.8 million posts on TikTok, and US clips using it climbed more than 30% in a single month. 43% of Gen Z workers surveyed this year said they were considering starting a business, more than any other generation. And detailing consistently appears near the top of what they are looking at because the startup cost is real, the barrier is low, and the profit margins are higher than most people expect. The low barrier is both the appeal and the trap. And I want to be honest about both sides of that. A few $100s of product, a vacuum, and the back of your own car is genuinely enough to start. One operator taught himself entirely from YouTube videos and launched with $500 in supplies. That accessibility is what makes this a real first business for someone with more energy than capital. But that same accessibility is also what creates a ceiling, and the ceiling arrives faster than most people expect. But that's not the biggest surprise. Here's where the numbers actually get interesting. Let me show you what this business actually earns at 3 different levels, because the spread is wider than most people expect when they first look at this. At the beginner level, it is just you and your supplies. A solo detailer doing 15 jobs a week at $150 average brings in $9,000 a month in revenue. That is a 70% margin. After your supplies, fuel, and basic marketing, you are clearing around $6,500 a month. The key to keeping that margin high is focusing on full vehicle packages rather than interior-only jobs. You are already on site. The time difference per job is minimal, and the price premium is significant. Interior-only work has the thinnest margins in the entire business. Price your packages to always push toward the full clean. Here's where almost everyone gets it wrong, and it's what separates the operators who scale from the ones who burn out. At the intermediate level, you have employees and a fleet contract. Watch what happens to the numbers. The margin stays between 70 and 80% because fleet work is predictable, high volume, and efficient. Your crew is doing the same type of job repeatedly, which means they get faster, which means your cost per vehicle drops over time. $30,000 a month in profit. That is 5 times the solo operator, and the only structural difference is who is holding the pressure washer. And then there's the advanced level. This is the number that actually stopped me when I first saw it. One detailing operator in Miami runs a crew of 6 people and clears around $18,500 a month in profit from cleaning cars. That is a real business generating serious income. But alongside it, he sells his blueprint, the exact system he used to build his operation, to people who want to start their own detailing business. That side generates $50,000 a month, nearly 3 times what the actual cars bring in. 600 paying customers in 2 years, built on the back of almost 1 million social media followers he built by simply documenting his process. The cleaning operation kept him credible. The blueprint is where the real leverage lives. 2 other operators follow the exact same pattern. One in Pittsburgh has seen blueprint inquiries rise more than 50% over 4 years. One in Los Angeles, with 1.6 million social followers, now earns income that scales with her content calendar rather than her booking calendar. This is not coincidence, it is a playbook that the most successful detailers are all running. But before you can sell the blueprint, you have to understand why most detailers never get the chance. Here is the wall nobody warns you about. The ceiling in car detailing is not competition. It is not seasonality. Those are real problems, but they are not the core issue. The actual ceiling is that your time is the product, and time does not scale. When you are the one doing the cleaning, every dollar of growth requires more hours of your physical presence. You can work 30 hours a week cleaning cars, 40 if you push it, maybe 50 during a busy stretch, but that is the ceiling of what one person can physically deliver, and there is no shortcut around it as long as you are the one holding the equipment. One Colorado operator described working 32 hours straight during a peak weekend and then watched most of the new detailers in his market quit within 12 months. The business works. The model just demands more than one person can sustainably give when that one person is doing everything. The competition problem compounds this. Every spring, a new wave of operators enters the market willing to undercut on price, which pushes margins down at the commodity end of the business. If you are competing on basic wash and wax pricing, you are always one season away from someone offering the same service for $20 less. The operators who survive this are the ones who moved up the value chain early into paint correction, ceramic coating, and premium detailing packages where the skill requirement is real and price undercutting is significantly harder. And seasonality is the third variable. Detailing is a discretionary spend for most consumers, which means it tracks the broader economy closely. When gas prices spike or consumer confidence drops, appointment bookings follow. The most stable detailing businesses hedge against this with fleet contracts. Businesses maintain their vehicles regardless of consumer sentiment, and a single fleet contract provides the revenue floor that keeps the business running through a slow quarter. So how do the operators who actually build wealth in this space get past all of this? Here is exactly what they do differently. The operators who break past the physical ceiling consistently do two things. First, they get a fleet contract as early as possible. Local businesses with vehicle fleets, delivery companies, real estate agencies, landscaping operations, car rentals need regular detailing and will sign monthly agreements if you can show up reliably and maintain a consistent standard. Fleet revenue is not seasonal. It does not disappear when a competitor shows up on Nextdoor. And unlike consumer work where you are constantly acquiring new customers, a fleet contract means the same client pays you every single month for work you are already set up to do. A single fleet contract for 12 vehicles a week at $175 per vehicle is over $8,000 a week in revenue. That one contract changes the entire financial profile of the business, from a side hustle that depends on your personal booking calendar to a real operation with predictable monthly income. Second, they document their process from day one and build an audience around it. This is the step most detailers skip because it feels premature when you are still learning. But the Miami operator we covered earlier did not wait until he had a polished product to start sharing. He posted his real process from the beginning, what worked, what failed, what the actual numbers looked like week to week, and the audience built itself around the authenticity of that content. The cleaning kept him credible. The audience gave him something to sell that does not require his physical presence. And a blueprint has near zero marginal cost. Once it is built, every new customer is almost pure profit. Now, if you are thinking about actually starting this, here is the exact path I would follow from day one. Start mobile with minimum equipment. A pressure washer, basic detailing chemicals, microfiber towels, a vacuum, and a wet-dry vac is everything you need to start generating real revenue. Total startup cost runs $500 to $1,500 depending on whether you buy new or secondhand. Do not build a storefront yet. Mobile means zero rent, zero lease, and the ability to go where the customers are rather than waiting for them to find you. Price at $150 to $200 for a full vehicle package from the very first job. Do not compete at the bottom of the market. Your first customers will come from your personal network, friends, neighbors, family members with cars that need work. Over-deliver completely on those first jobs. Take before and after photos in good light and let those photos become your entire marketing strategy. Before and after content performs well organically on every platform, and it builds the visual portfolio that closes future customers. Pursue your first fleet contract as soon as you have the capacity. Call local businesses directly, explain the service, and offer a free trial clean on one vehicle. If your work is good, most business owners will convert to a monthly agreement because the alternative is finding someone reliable on their own, which most of them have already tried and failed at. One fleet contract is the moment the business stops feeling like a hustle and starts feeling like a company. And document everything from your first week. Film your process, post the results, talk about what you are learning. You do not need a large audience to start selling your blueprint. The Miami operator had well under 10,000 followers when he made his first sale of his system. You can start selling the moment you have 10 solid before and after photos and a process you have run enough times to explain clearly. That is attainable in your first month. So, is car detailing actually profitable? Yes. A solo operator can clear $6,000 a month in profit at 70% margins without a storefront or a single employee. The business is real, the numbers are real, and you can start it this weekend. But the ceiling is also real, and it arrives faster than most people expect when cleaning cars is the only thing the business does. The operators who get wealthy in this space do not stop at cleaning. They build fleet contracts for stable, predictable income, they document their process and build an audience. And then they sell the blueprint to everyone who wants to do what they did. One business cleans cars. The other one scales without limits. The first one is how you start. The second one is how you actually win. Startup equipment list and the fleet outreach template I referenced are in the pinned comment below. Everything you need to get started this week. And if detailing sounds like too much scrubbing, next week I am showing you the model that pays $4,000 per car with 0 hours of physical labor and no pressure washer required. If you want to flip cars instead of wash them, hit subscribe right now. See you next week.